Hey guys.
Hey everyone.
Welcome back. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving
This is
upon
Thanksgiving
us.
week. This is going to be released on
The
next
21st?
Tuesday, the
Yeah.
21st. So that's 2 days before Thanksgiving.
I'm really excited for Thanksgiving
Me
this year.
too.
Thanksgiving's one of those holidays where as a kid you're like, whatever.
Yeah,
But
you
then,
think it's the worst
yeah,
holiday?
as I've become like older and a grown up, I'm like, I like Thanksgiving.
No, I love Thanksgiving.
Especially because food is like one of the only things you have to look forward to in life. The older you
literally,
get.
literally. No, I love it. It's like no pressure, really.
Mhm.
I mean, I guess if you're the one that's like maybe hosting
Making
the
it.
Thanksgiving and like making a lot of food, then yes, it's high pressure. But like, I've never had to do that.
Me
I just
neither.
show up.
I just show up and get free food.
Yeah, I
so-
mean, this year I'm helping mom put together a charcuterie board.
a charcuterie board.
Yeah, charcuterie.
I'll have to help you guys with that. 'Cause that sounds fun.
Yeah, we're gonna put together a big old charcuterie and, and bring it to Thanksgiving.
I bet everyone's gonna love the charcuterie.
And our grandma, it's at our mom's house this year, so we switch off from our mom's side of the family and our dad's side of the family. And none of us siblings are married yet, so we still just go with our family. We don't have to go to any like in-laws or anything, but it's at our mom's house this year, and they have completely like redone their kitchen and like their main floor of their house, and it's absolutely stunning. So I'm
haven't
so
seen it yet,
excited. Yeah,
so it'll be fun.
it's gonna be so fun to just do it in their new house and let them have the opportunity to like show it off and stuff. But yeah, I love Thanksgiving. It's a fun holiday. I like that you literally just go to eat and spend time together and like lay around and watch like football and stuff. Like I love it. I think it's
Me
great.
too.
So happy Thanksgiving. Grateful for the pod. Grateful for the
Yeah.
pod this year.
Grateful for the 10 of you who listen.
The 10 listeners.
Yay.
Shout out. My best friend, Haley. Shout out, Haley. She texts me every single week on like the day the episode, right after she listens to it, and is like, I love this
That
episode.
is a real one. That is
Yeah.
so nice.
She's so sweet. She like texted me this week on Tuesday when the Hunger Games episode came out, and she goes, Hunger Game episode was amazing. Loved it. And she's like, I seriously look forward to listening every single week. She got on a plane the week before, I think, to go to California to see her brother and his new baby, and she has really bad flight anxiety, like probably the worst of anybody I know, and I've flown with her before. And this is actually really sweet. Her husband, Isaac, she's like, you and Isaac are like some of the only people who I feel like comfortable like flying with. Like you like always like make me feel really calm. And anyway, she texted me and she goes, I downloaded the episode to listen on the plane because you calmed me down. And I was just like, that
Aw.
is true friendship. Like,
That's goals right there.
so shout out Haley. I freaking love your guts.
Yeah.
You're one of my favorite people, and honestly one of my family's favorite people in the entire world.
Yeah. My
We love you.
friend Grace listens too. And
Grace!
we love her.
We love Grace,
She's-
too.
She's the best. So Grace, if you're listening,
Shout out Grace.
I love you.
Shout out my fellow Aries queen.
Ugh.
I freaking love her. Okay, so this week we're kind of doing, because it's Thanksgiving, we're kind of doing like a mashup of all the things.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start with a Thanksgiving food ranking
Yes.
according to us, and then we're gonna go into obscure things that we're grateful for. And then we're gonna end today with like crazy miracle stories, because
Yes.
Thanksgiving kind of, I think, goes along with like
Yeah.
miracles and
It's
like
about being grateful.
grateful and like, yeah, the holiday
Yeah.
season is just like knowing that anything can happen, you know, like
There's
inviting
magic in the air.
There is magic in the air. Shark Boy said that, and he said it
Oh, yeah.
beautifully. There's
Right after he
magic
did
in
a
the
little,
air.
and then he proceeded to do a flip.
dream.
So good.
Amazing. I'm actually surprised we haven't quoted Shark Boy and Lava Girl yet on
I know.
So True. That's our first time.
I know, not very.
It's not very on brand for
Yeah.
us. That's kind of off brand, actually.
I don't know.
The lack of Shark Boy and Lava Girl quotes.
We can't let it happen again.
Yeah, making sure we fit one into every episode. Okay, so we're gonna start with our food ranking. So I first started ranking mine like on a scale of like 1 to like 5.
Oh, I did mine from 1 to 10.
Okay, But then I decided I wanted to do like the S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, because some of them I felt
Okay.
were equal on my list.
Okay.
Like, so I can do both, but
I'll
I
do
feel
both, too.
like I did more so I have my S tier. I only have my S tier. It goes S tier, A tier, B tier, and C tier. I could have gone further, but I didn't really feel it was necessary.
Okay.
So, all right. So
C is the minimum.
Yeah, C is like the bottom.
Okay.
The bottom. So my S tier, my first thing on my S tier, and actually number one when I was doing on like a numerical list, was stuffing.
Stuffing is really good, but if I had to rank it, it'd be on my A tier. I don't think
Okay.
it's that great.
Okay, really?
Yeah,
really
it's good, but I'm not like stuffing.
See, I'm like so down. I'm so down bad for stuffing.
I mean, it is delicious.
especially like the stovetop stuffing that you get in the box.
Oh yeah.
I truly believe that's actually the best way to make stuffing.
I kind of agree.
I've
yeah.
made homemade stuffing before. I've had homemade stuffing before, and it's good, don't get me wrong. But like the stuffing from the box always turns out good. It's never too dry. It's like the flavor's there. So stovetop stuffing like slaps my ass. I
reminds
freaking
me-
love it.
This reminds me, yesterday I was on the cash register like
Yeah.
for 7 hours, and this girl comes up to me
Oh no.
and she's like, do you have like the gluten-free stuffing? And I was like, oh yeah, we actually have it on this display like right in front of me, and like there's this big display. And so she's like, oh, okay. And so she turns like in the direction that I'm pointing, and she's and I watch her just struggle to look for it for like 2 minutes.
I mean, like actually same.
And then she finally found it, and she's like, do you have any more? And I was like, I don't know. And then she's like, okay. And then she
Oh no.
I know. It was just funny. I don't know. It just reminded me of that. I was just standing there like,
You're like, yeah, it's literally
I'm
right
like,
there.
just look up, raise your eyes a little bit higher.
Eye
It's
level
right
there.
right
Perfect.
there.
You almost wish you had like a laser pointer in that like moment.
Yeah.
You'd be like, girl, right here, right here.
What are those like teacher sticks where it has
The
the like
teacher pointer,
teacher
the little
pointer?
hand.
Yeah, the white hand.
The Mickey hand.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
my
not one of
gosh. My students used to go feral over like the pointer hand. Like feral over it. Like if there was ever indoor recess, I would have like probably 4 or 5 kids coming up to me and asking me if they could use my little pointer thing. And I'm like, sure, I don't care. But
Sure, man.
yeah, I mean, slay. So
Anyway, sorry, I just had to.
yeah, okay.
Talk
So
about that.
stuffing is my S tier.
Okay.
Claire's A tier. All right, you pick an item now.
Okay, I got stuffed mushrooms.
Oh, see, okay, here's the thing. Does everybody do like a stuffed mushroom appetizer?
Oh, well, I looked
their
on this
Thanksgiving?
website, and it was like part of like a giant like Thanksgiving
was?
recipe. So I think
Okay,
they
I think
showed
a lot
it
of
as-
people do.
yeah.
Like, because the thing is that our Thanksgivings, specifically at our mom's side of the family, we have like a full, like the appetizer
Ugh.
spread is even better than the meal.
Actually, yeah, I'd have to agree. The
So like
appetizers are
the
dang.
appetizers are a big deal for us, and stuffed mushrooms. Oh, those are so slay. I'd have to
so
put those
good.
S tier as
S tier.
well. I didn't
It's a
put them
10
on
out
my
of
list,
10.
but I'm putting that S tier. I'm adding
So
that.
good.
So good. Yeah, I agree. Okay, my next one. Again, this is one that not everybody does, but our mom makes this amazing crock pot mac and cheese. That is so dank every single time. I feel like that is very like soul food Thanksgiving. Like I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of like black families do that. Like not as many like the white people need to get on it. Like
Yeah,
you know
I
what I
know.
mean? I feel like it's like coming more like popular to do mac and cheese at Thanksgiving, but we really started doing it a few years ago, and man oh man is it good.
Yeah, and that's coming from someone who doesn't really like mac and cheese very much. Like it's not my favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
I know people are screaming like, what? But yeah, that would have to be A tier for me.
That's another S tier for me.
See, that I just a little bit below. It's
But
not my
Claire and
favorite.
I have like very different
We do.
food tastes,
We do.
honestly.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah, that's my S tier. That's another S tier for me.
Okay, I got yams as 10 out of 10.
Yams
Anything
are good.
Like yams, sweet potatoes. Well,
Yeah,
they're
like
kinda
this
the same
sweet
thing.
potato casserole if you have like the crunchies on top or,
Or,
like,
like, candied
marshmallows. Yeah.
Oh,
See, yams are my A tier. I can do without.
that's my S tier.
I can do
love some
without. And
yams.
it kind of depends on who makes the yams too. For
True.
me. Which I guess you could argue that for any of these
Yeah.
dishes, whoever makes it and like if they do a good job with it. But yeah, yams are my on my A tier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Super, super good, and will get them on my plate 1000%, and usually do enjoy them. But like, I'm not upset if they're not there, really.
I
you
am.
know, I am.
I'll cry.
All right. My next one. This is gonna be a little controversial.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Turkey is my C tier.
Okay. That's like sort of goes along with me. I'd probably put it a little bit higher, like
Yeah.
B tier. But I'm not a huge ham or turkey person.
I like it when it's cooked correctly. However, most of the time
It's not.
it's
right.
like dry. Like the
Yeah,
turkey is dry.
yes.
And I don't blame the chef really, because it is very hard to get like a perfectly moist turkey. Excuse, I know that's a trigger word for some people. What I have to say to you is
Get
grow
over
up.
it. Get over it.
Grow up. No, but like most of the time I have the turkey, I'm like, this is dry. I need to douse this in either gravy or cranberry
Yeah,
sauce
yes.
in order to like get it down. So turkey is on my C tier. However, can it move and be like an A tier? It totally can.
Yes, I'm the same way.
Depending on who cooks it and how
Yeah.
it's cooked, like, but it ain't my fave.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I'm all right.
Yeah, I'm more. I mean, I think I've said this before, but I'm more of a chicken girly. That is my favorite meat.
Yeah.
I love chicken. So
And I think I'd actually rather have ham than like than turkey.
I think I'd probably have turkey rather than ham.
Really?
Yeah.
But I feel like ham is usually cooked better. Like it's easier to cook a
Maybe.
ham than it is a turkey, I think.
Maybe.
I think that's why. It's like the ham usually really good.
Yeah, I'd say for me, ham and turkey, C or B tier.
Okay. Yeah, turkey. So sorry if that's like controversial, but like turkey can move up. Just most of the time
they just gotta be cooked good.
it's just gotta be cooked good. It's not gonna be, it can't be dry. And it can move up if it hits those markers of like moist and seasoned well. So, but
Yummy.
most of the time it's a C tier for me. So
Yeah.
anyway, next.
Pumpkin pie, I have a 4 out of 10 because number one,
Okay.
I'm not a big pie fan. I've
Yeah.
never been a pie fan. I do love
Yeah.
pumpkin stuff, but pie is just kind of like
Yeah. Where would
whatever.
you have it on like your tier list?
honestly kind of C tier.
C tier? I have it as
Yeah.
a B tier
Okay.
because I am not a pie person either, especially if it's like apple pie or like I don't like slimy fruit.
Yeah,
I
me
can't do
either.
the slimy fruit. I can do like a berry pie because the berries just end up getting mashed up.
True.
But if it's like apple or peach, like I don't like slimy hot fruit. It kind of
Yeah,
makes me
not a
want to.
fan.
It makes me want to like gag a little bit. But I do like a pumpkin pie. But again, it depends on who makes it. Like,
Yeah.
and it can just be really like, hey,
And I'd rather like for Thanksgiving just have like a pumpkin cookie or something.
yeah, like a pumpkin
Yeah.
cookie or like the pumpkin cheesecake from Costco.
Oh. I don't know if I've had that before actually.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. Or like even like a cinnamon roll type
Yeah,
thing.
or a pumpkin roll.
Pumpkin roll.
Pumpkin roll. would be
Pumpkin
good.
roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Pumpkin pie is on like my B tier.
Yeah, I'm not a pie
I'm gonna
fan.
eat it, but like it's not
It's not gonna hit in the way that we want it to.
most of the time it doesn't hit the way you
Yeah.
want it to. Yeah, that's so true.
All right.
That's so true.
That's so
true
true.
podcast. Like and subscribe. Okay, next. Mashed potatoes. I have also on a B tier.
I've got them on kind of a B and A. Well, A tier because sometimes they're really good.
Sometimes they're insane.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like
I'm
go
not a gravy
potato
person,
pop
though.
off.
I don't love gravy. So I just
Oh.
eat like mashed potatoes plain.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, here's the thing. Again, it's kind of like with the turkey. Like most of the time, I just feel like the mashed potatoes aren't seasoned well enough.
or they're kind of cold.
Yeah,
And you're
I'm like they're either like not mashed well enough, so it's just like I've got chunks of like potato, and I'm like, no. When I say
Yes.
mashed potato, I want that potato pulverized.
I need it soft. And
I need it so
fluffy.
soft, so creamy. Yeah, and I just feel like they're like I'm just like no, I'm tasting too much
Yeah.
plain potato. I'm not trying to live the first Thanksgiving. Thank you. I need
Yeah.
like full on seasonings.
I need my mashed potato to
I
be
need
like,
you to put like heavy whipping cream in there. I need you to add sour cream in there. I need like all the seasonings. I need it
hungry now.
blended perfectly. And most of the time, like the mashed potatoes kind of let me down. I'm kind of like, I want these to be better than they are.
Costco mashed potatoes are pretty good.
That's true. The Costco mashed potatoes are good, but most of the
good.
time when people make mashed potatoes for
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, they're making
And
them.
they're not very good. Yeah.
And I'm like, y'all, I need you to put your back
Again,
into
it depends on who's making this food.
Again, yeah, this is all with the caveat of who made it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like mashed potatoes are kind of B tier.
I'd probably agree with that.
However, swinging back to gravy, I do love gravy, so I put gravy as an A tier because I feel like gravy can elevate any dish. You slap it on your turkey, you slap it on those mashed potatoes, great.
I could go without.
I could even drizzle it on my stuffing, great. Soak it up with the little extra bit of your roll, awesome.
Which leads to rolls.
Rolls,
which
what
are
do you
on my
think?
S tier. If they're a soft, yummy, warm roll, I'm gonna say S tier.
Okay, same, but I also would put them on C tier.
Oh.
I could put them on S tier or C tier because sometimes the roll is the best thing that you're gonna have at Thanksgiving, and you're like, holy shiz. Like, this is the best thing I've ever eaten.
Those like Hawaiian rolls that are really
the King's
good.
Hawaiian. Yeah, those are so good.
good.
Or like, I've even had homemade rolls. Our grandma that we're going to this year, she makes homemade
such
rolls
good
that are
rolls.
insane. Those are S tier rolls. But when
Yes.
somebody just like buys rolls from the grocery store that
usually
are
kinda
slightly dry,
Yep.
C tier.
C tier.
C tier,
Yeah.
I even might create a D tier for those.
True.
You know, I'm like, why am I wasting precious stomach room
The
and-
stakes are high with this one.
with this roll, with this crusty ass roll? Like, so I agree with you if it's like the right roll,
Yeah.
but otherwise C tier for a roll because I'm like, not worth it. This isn't really a meal on its own, but I got to talk about cranberry sauce.
Oh yeah, my next one was like cranberry sauce, cranberry salad.
Oh my
that kind of thing.
gosh, cranberry sauce. Love it.
It's pretty good.
Love
yeah.
it. I kind of like, I didn't really discover it until a few years ago. And I like was like, I'm going to be like, I'm going to like see how the other half lives. Like the elegant side of people live and put some cranberry sauce on my turk. And I was like, holy crap. That's
Sound
good
I
stuff.
don't know if I've ever put it on turkey.
Oh, so good.
Huh.
You just get a little dapple of that and put it on your turkey. Man, so good. So good. You can even put it on your roll. You can do roll cranberry turk bite.
Roll with the cranberry sauce would be good.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
like
I'd
a
be into
jam.
that.
Yeah, you
Ooh.
should try a little bit of cranberry sauce on your turkey this year.
Okay.
It's so
I will.
good. I'm challenging you.
Challenge
And I will
accepted.
be there to make sure it happens.
Okay, you'll spy on me. and
Yeah,
make
I
sure I'm
will.
doing it.
So
Yeah.
cranberry sauce is actually on my A tier along with gravy because it just helps to elevate the food that you put it on.
Yeah, I think I'll agree with that. I'll
Yeah.
put A tier.
Okay. Solid. Your turn.
Okay, and then I have Wait, is that it for me?
Is that all you have? I have
I
like
think that's all I have.
I have
I have sweet potato casserole, but we already talked
we
about
did
that.
talk about that. I have 2 more.
Okay,
So you can rate with me.
'Kay.
Green bean casserole. Green bean cass.
that's pretty good.
Honestly, this is coming from somebody who hates green
Okay,
beans.
you hate green beans.
I hate them. If you give me like just a pile of green beans, I know this sounds like really stupid of me because I'm not like a little wimp when it comes to food. I'm not even picky when it comes to food. Green beans, plain green beans, I will gag. Literally start like gagging. I do not know what it is. Like I put them in my mouth and I'm just like,
I wouldn't eat them plain, but they used to have them in I used to eat them with like rice and chicken, and I liked that.
even those, like I have to pick them out of like, the
Damn.
teriyaki bowls. But a green bean casserole when they're smothered in that like mushroom soup concoction with the little crunchies on top,
That's good.
amazing.
That is good.
So good.
I'll
That's
say A tier.
That's A tier for me too. And I'm like, that's coming from somebody who hates green beans.
Yeah.
That's the only way I'll eat a green bean.
That's green bean in its highest form.
Yeah, green bean in its highest evolution.
Yeah, it's Super Saiyan mode.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, my last one is actually a charcuterie board because I feel like that has become a staple
such a good one.
for every single like gathering
Yes.
now.
Honestly, give me crackers and dip and cheese. Like that's S tier for me
Crackers,
every time.
dip, cheese, little meats,
Maybe little grapes or something.
grapes,
Ugh,
some
yeah.
brie, some some blackberry, raspberry,
Ooh.
a little drizzle of whatever on the top.
S tier.
S
S tier.
tier.
You know what's really good?
S plus tier
S
actually.
plus tier. I love goat cheese and dipping Ritz crackers and goat cheese. It has like maybe like some cranberry on it. That's good.
Like the one you get from Costco,
Yes,
the goat
that's
cheese
exactly
wrapped
the
in
one I'm
the
thinking.
cranberry.
Yes.
Oh my
one's dank.
gosh.
That one's so good.
Oh my gosh. Literally so good. So good. Yeah. I mean, we were talking about this. I had a Friendsgiving like 2 weeks ago, a week ago. And all of us girls were going ham on the charcuterie board and like the veggie tray.
Oh, veggie trays are so good.
And it's like homemade veggie tray. Like my friend put together this veggie tray herself. She didn't just buy one. So you like knew it was good. Okay. We were going ham on this and we're like, this is the epitome of girl dinner.
Yeah.
Girl dinner.
We like to graze. I like to graze at Thanksgiving.
Yeah. We like little snacks. We want little bites of everything. Yeah. Girl dinner, like I was like, perfect.
That's the funnest part when you first arrive to a Thanksgiving is you just kind of like graze around the appetizers. And like,
then you feel like, you're like, I'm like... I'm a skinny girl. I'm just taking like girl. Little bites of
I'm not full quite yet.
Yeah. I'm just like tasting.
And then flash forward to the end of Thanksgiving, you're like, I'm the fattest person who's ever lived.
By the time like it's actually time to eat, I'm already bloated because I've eaten half my body weight in mushrooms. Pepperoni. Yeah. No, literally. And like all the husbands at this Friendsgiving, they were like, that is not dinner. We're like, yeah, it is.
It does. It's
like
here.
One of my friend Mac, who also listens, shout out Mac, she was like, I know, like like pointing to the veggie tray with like had potato chips in it and like all the good stuff. She goes, no, I could eat this entire thing for dinner and be like perfectly content. And then like she goes, Dave, her husband, she goes, he would like riot. Like there has to be like a meat. There has to be. And he's like, that's not freaking dinner. And she's like, yeah, it is. And we all just like went off. We're like, no, this is a girl dinner and you need to respect it.
Exactly. Who cares what you eat on Thanksgiving, you know? As long
as
there's options.
As long as you're thankful and as long as you're eating.
Yeah.
That's all I care about.
Me too.
Yeah, that was great.
I have some zodiac things
I forgot.
Okay, so this one is what each zodiac has in store for them this Thanksgiving.
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. Okay,
so and this is from collective.world.com.
Slay, okay.
I realize I'm not very good at giving my sources sometimes.
Same.
So I gotta be better at that.
T.
Okay, starting with Aries. Aries, you're going to have a tough time holding yourself back when your great aunt Stella wants to share her uniquely racist and sexist opinions at the dinner table.
Like I'm gonna go off?
Being born in a different time is no excuse, you'll think, and you'll be right. How dinner ends is up to you and whether you want to risk a death match.
Shiz. Here's the thing is like I'm thinking all these things, but I'm so non-confrontational.
No, you're like the least confrontational person
I hate like starting arguments or fighting, but like I do get to a point where I'm like enough is enough. Like I'm gonna go off like a little bit. So I could see that happening if I was like
telling someone to be quiet, like enough.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, that's probably like not okay. Like
but you're not gonna like dive across the table and punch your
no
aunt.
Chance. I'm not the Aries stereotype at all. Like think of every Aries stereotype and I'm completely opposite of the stereotype.
It's actually hilarious because Aries like in these little like BuzzFeed things are always like so violent and I'm like the Aries I know are actually like really chill down to earth people. Yeah. It's so funny that they're like always ready for battle. I know.
Like they are choosing violence in every like little Tumblr Pinterest thing you see.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, and then there's Taurus. You love family, but every year you come home a little more worn out. You're starting to toy with the idea of just staying home and having your own little Thanksgiving without the travel and the tiring relatives. And just like last year, you probably won't come to a decision anytime soon. In the meantime, at least you're going home with leftovers for days.
This is our Aunt Melissa is a Taurus, and does that not like word for word sound like her?
She's like, I don't want to do anything.
She is like the Taurus of the century. I love it. That's hilarious.
Gemini. You'll go from sweet with your little cousins to spicy with your least favorite uncle. But rather than hating all the drama like some of the other signs on this list, you kind of live for it. You'll be coming home with all sorts of stories to tell your inner circle. See, I'm upping them for who had the worst Thanksgiving.
See, I'm a Gemini rising, and that sounds like me.
I'm like, sound more like you.
I'm like, I want to come back with like I'm living for it. I'm living for the drama that I'm not involved in. Also, when they said like things get a little spicy with the uncle, I was like,
I know. I was like, wait a minute.
This sounds a little bit incestual.
I'm like, okay,
Sweet like Home enemies Alabama? To lovers. Yeah, like Sweet Home Alabama, enemies to lovers.
Oh God,
that was a little bit weird for me. The phrasing.
Maybe don't use that word.
Yeah, don't use that.
Okay, Cancer. Thanksgiving is probably your favorite holiday. family and food. How could anyone hate this? Not only are you staying up late the night before crafting delicious yet traditional Thanksgiving foods, but you're also the one leading the gratitude at dinner. Some guests have anxiety about having to go around saying what they're thankful for, but you've prepared your answer for days or weeks.
Oh my gosh. Please.
That sounds like Thanksgiving fanboy or something.
Right?
Okay.
Amazing.
Leo, there's something so comforting about having your family bothering you about your achievements all night. Oh, did you hear Leo got a promotion? They'll ask, and the murmurs will spread up and down the dining table. This is what makes the travel and having to cook a stupid side dish all worth it.
Oh my god.
Damn, Leo.
Leo, just like living.
Living for the spotlight.
Literally.
Virgo, get ready for the burnout. This is supposed to be a holiday, a mini vacation, but it feels like anything but.
Oh no.
You're putting so much pressure on yourself to get everything right that you're in danger of neglecting your own health and happiness.
Oh my gosh.
I promise no one is going to notice if the napkins are folded into perfect Pinterest-worthy shapes. It'll be fine.
Oh, Virgo.
Virgo is okay, man.
Virgo, relax.
Libra, you're just here to have a good time, and that's exactly what it'll be if you have any say. If someone needs to find you, you'll be flitting around the house taking pictures with everyone. And if anyone gets in a fight, here's looking at you, Gemini and Scorpio, you'll be there to break it up or help people find common ground. After all, this is about happiness and family, not drama.
Oh my gosh, Libra.
Gosh. Libra's just so selfless.
Yeah, Libra. What would we do without you?
Scorpio. Speaking of drama, it seems to find you, doesn't it? It's not like you're necessarily intending to start fights as soon as you get there, but if they happen, you're down to throw hands. You might even be the one planning on wearing the most political and expletive-filled t-shirt just because you know it'll make your family mad.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, not everyone on the guest list will hate you for it. Sagittarius. Please. You're just there to eat food and have deep conversations with your favorite people. Thankfully, you find it pretty easy to ignore the ones who aren't. You're sailing fine just as long as you're not responsible for any part of the actual planning. You prefer to just float into the house, enjoy the food and company, and then float away like a leaf on the wind. None of the responsibility and all the fun. See, this sounds like me. This sounds like I want that.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing too.
I know. Oh, next one is Capricorn. Okay, let's see what I got.
All right.
You've taken charge for this Thanksgiving, but that's nothing new for you. Some of your guests might find the extensive lists and micromanaging of the food a bit much. Then again, without your list, this potluck would just be filled with 4 different versions of green bean casserole and a severe lack of pumpkin pie. You micromanage because that's how you show everyone you love them. And if they don't like it, they can leave.
What's so funny is Claire like does not give a fuck.
I don't give a shit.
She is like showing up and like doing her own thing.
Yeah, I'm like...
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like funny that they are acting like I'm the one planning it. 'Cause I'm like, never in my life will I plan something.
No.
Aquarius. You're just along for the ride, Aquarius. You'll leave it up to everyone else to pick the place and time. They just need to point you in the right direction and you'll be there. Luckily, your friends and family probably already realize that you're not the kind of person who thrives on contributing to all the planning. Okay, so kind of similar to Sagittarius.
Yeah.
Pisces, you love your chosen family almost as much or more than the people you were born with. That's why, even if you have a traditional family affair for Thanksgiving, you probably have at least one Friendsgiving to go to as well. Heck, you're probably the one planning it. So now you get all of your favorite people in one place to gossip and drink wine and eat mashed potatoes and stuffing.
Oh.
Heaven.
Heaven.
Heaven,
Period.
period.
Slay.
Slay. Okay, and then I got just a really quick one. That's what Thanksgiving dish you are based on your zodiac sign.
I'm so excited for this.
Okay.
I swear, if they give me
All
a
right.
crappy one, I'm gonna rage.
Taurus, you are mac and cheese.
Oh.
Taurians are creatures of comfort, so don't be surprised if your earth sign relatives refuse to pass the mac and cheese this year. It is the ultimate comfort food after all. All right.
Go off.
Gemini. Represented by the symbol of the twins, Geminis have a reputation for having 2 sides. Believe it or not, this is something that Geminis and sweet potatoes have in common, as the delicious ingredient can be prepared in both sweet and savory dishes.
Interesting.
Okay, so we put like a little bit of psychology into this.
Okay, yeah, they really thought this through.
I know. Also, this is by bustle.com. Just had to put that out there.
Okay.
Okay, Cancer. Nothing reminds you of home more than a side of mashed potatoes, which is probably why the classic side is a fave for the homebody sign of Cancer. Nice. Leo. No two Thanksgiving spreads are alike, but if there's one thing you can always count on, it's that the turkey will be placed in the middle of the table every year.
Freaking Leos.
Yeah, because Leos strive to be the center of attention.
Right.
So it's like
the main
turkey.
dish. Yeah.
Virgo. With a table full of gooey gravy boats and sloppy cranberry sauces, cornbread is a nice reprieve from all the mess for an organized and tidy sign like Virgo. Why is that actually accurate? These are kind of accurate.
Honestly.
Like Virgo would be just cornbread. Not because they're bland, but, they're just very practical.
Sometimes cornbread's the best thing there, though.
True.
Cornbread can be so good.
It actually can be, yeah. Libra. As a sign all about equilibrium, Libras can appreciate pumpkin pie for its balance of sweet flavor and winter spices. Libras are also very popular individuals, and everyone knows pumpkin pie is always the first dessert to go.
Interesting.
Okay. Scorpio. Scorpios use their rough exteriors to hide their tender, sensitive side, much like how we hide the soft stuffing inside a tough turkey.
Please.
Oh, wow, okay. Sagittarius. As the adventurers of the zodiac, Sagittarians are most likely to gravitate to a dish that not everyone is willing to try. Despite being a Thanksgiving staple, cranberry sauce can be pretty divisive, which is probably why the fire sign loves it so much.
Yeah, just like choosing violence.
Yeah. Capricorn.
They're not like other girls.
They're not. Capricorn. Casseroles are tried and true staples that never disappoint. Much like Capricorns, some casserole recipes require a serious amount of work and time to prepare, but a Cap has never shied away from a tough job before. Okay.
That's so true.
I'm such a casserole,
Yeah.
Okay, Aquarius. Candied yams make a sweet side that doesn't really fit in with the rest of the dishes, a feeling that Aquarians know all too well. Not to mention, the side adds a lot of eccentric color to an otherwise full dinner plate, which also feels very aqua-esque. Okay. And then
Excuse me?
aqua-esque, aquamarine?
Aquamarine.
Pisces. The last thing a Pisces wants before slipping into their tryptophan-induced slumber is a slice of pecan pie. After all, you can't have sweet dreams without a little sweet treat first. That's so true. That's so true.
That's what I live by. That's my life motto.
I actually love pecans. I forgot about that.
Pecan pie is pretty good.
They're
too.
good.
Yeah.
All right. That was my zodiac.
I didn't get one.
You didn't get one?
No.
Did they left out Aries?
No.
Let's say that you're Let's say that you
They took all the good ones.
What's the stereotypically like kind of hardcore food?
I don't know.
You're probably like ham.
Maybe I'm like a stuffed pepper.
Oh, true. Stuffed pepper.
I can't believe they left me out.
I can't believe they left you out too. I'm like, Pisces was the last one on the list.
Oh my gosh, those bitches at Bustle.
Bustle.com, what are you doing? Or maybe it was my fault. Who knows?
Cancel Bustle.
Bustle, what are you
Cancel
doing?
them.
Wait, let me just double check. No, you were.
Oh, was I first?
Oh. I will revoke.
I'm revoking my canceling from Bustle, and I'm placing it on Claire.
I started with Taurus, and I should scroll up a little more.
I thought it was interesting that it started on Taurus, but I wasn't gonna question.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know. Sometimes they're out of order. Aries, your apple pie.
Ew.
Was that worth me going back to check?
No, I'm gonna take stuffed pepper.
Okay, but this kind of eager, overexcited energy has Aries all over it. As the first sign of the zodiac, Rams are always racing to move on to the next best thing, including meal courses.
Oh,
Does that explain things for you?
Yeah, true. I'm always ready for the next course. Please.
All right.
Beautiful. All right, obscure things we are grateful for.
This is gonna be fun.
I'm gonna start off. I have 6 things.
I have a few. I have like 10.
Okay.
But I'll just quickly go through them.
Okay, perfect. My first one is burritos from the brand Real Good that you can get at Costco.
They're so good.
They are literally so good. And they're like 37 grams of protein for one burrito.
It's pretty good.
They're insane. They're so freaking good.
Ultimate comfort food.
So good. My second thing I'm grateful for is the Kardashians.
Yeah, so
I love them.
You and Mom were watching them yesterday.
Yeah, like their show, like the amount of entertainment they have provided for so many years is just unmatched. like they're hilarious. I love the show. I think they're literally the best. Claire and I were dying at Kris Jenner yesterday, and
Oh my gosh.
I just love them. I love them. I know that is probably so basic of me, but man, I just
Who
love that
cares?
show. I love that show. My next one is cheese.
Cheese.
Just cheese. Period.
That's a good thing to be
I
grateful
love
for.
cheese.
I love cheese too.
Like cheese elevates literally everything.
I know. Where would
Even
the
if
world
you just
be?
have plain cheese, like a little cheese snack, a little Baby Bell, like I'm living. A Baby Bell is like it's a snack and an activity all in one with that little wax
So true.
peel. Next, friends who will let you talk mad shit and still like you and think you're a good person after.
Yeah, because honestly, who wants the friends that are like, I don't think we should be talking about this.
Jesus still loves them, and I'm like, that's true, but like I need you to like rage with me. And they won't rage with you, or they won't let you rage and
I'm
be like,
like-
you know what, you're so right.
I'm like, are there cameras here? Is there a reason you're being so uptight?
Yeah,
All
is
right?
John Quinones gonna
Yeah,
come out and
right.
say, what would you do? Like, no, bitch, stop
No.
acting like you're better than me.
Tell me who you hate.
Tell me who you hate and let's hate them together.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love friends like that. They're still like, you are the coolest, best person I've ever known after you've talked like mad shit about somebody. You
I mean,
know?
that's kind of healthy to a degree.
That's what I think. I'm like,
gotta talk a little bit shit.
listen, I just got a vent.
No.
All right, my next one is I don't really know how to describe this, but like bones and joints, but not for like the obvious reasons of like they make our bodies move, but like how good does it feel when you like pop them? Like when you're like crack your back, or like I know some people don't like this, but like popping your knuckles or like cracking your neck. Oh my gosh.
I like popping my knuckles. I don't like popping my toes for some reason. I do love a good back pop though.
See, like every single part of my body I can pop basically, and it feels amazing
Pop, lock,
every
and
single
drop.
time. I can pop, lock, and drop it like you've never seen. Yeah, so I mean, like that's what I'm grateful for is like how good it feels when like you have like you like crack your back or
That
like
little
your
boost of
neck. You're just like,
serotonin.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then my last one on my list is the comfort and peace of knowing that Costco rotisserie chicken is only $4.99 and will continue to be so.
Oh, their rotisserie chicken. That is a great example of chicken that is
Cooked
moist.
well.
Yeah, and well, like we were talking about turkey, I guess.
But
that's
like,
fine. But
it's the same concept.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's always
delicious.
good. It's only $5 for that rotisserie chick.
Costco blueberry muffins never fail to really
Yeah.
hit either. I
But
love a
like the
blueberry
comfort,
muffin.
but truly the comfort and peace of knowing that it's only $4.99 and it's going to continue being that way. So you're like, if I'm ever having a bad day, all I need is $5 and a dream, and I can walk into Costco and get myself a chicken. And if I want to, I can eat it with my hands in my car,
All right.
and nobody can judge me.
I mean, true.
So,
No one can.
amen. Thank you, Lord Jesus.
Thank you, chicken rotisserie.
Thank you, Lord Jesus, and thank you, Costco.
We love Costco. Not Costco, but also food related. Chick-fil-A's chocolate chip cookies.
Oh,
They're so good.
oof,
The things
so
I would
good.
do. Y'all be like talking about crumble when
No.
Chick-fil-A's chocolate chip cookie is the real
A
underdog.
Chick-fil-A
in the-
chocolate chip cookie is the best chocolate chip cookie I've ever had in my entire life.
I wouldn't say my entire life. There's one cookie I'm thinking about in Florida.
Oh yeah, we did have those good
That might
cookies
be
in
one of the
Florida.
best chocolate chip cookies. But Chick-fil-A here in Utah is like probably
It's so good. If you've
My
never tried a
go-to.
Chick-fil-A chocolate chip cookie, go get yourself
Go
one.
get one.
It's life-changing.
their brownies are pretty good too.
Their brownies are actually insane as
They're
well.
good.
Yeah.
But yeah, the cookies. Okay, and then the next one. I am grateful for how close the gym is to my work.
Oh, that is
because
nice.
I just leave work and then I go to the gym. And
It's
I
literally
don't
like
waste
a
ton of
2-minute
time.
drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so nice.
And going along with that, grateful for when there's an empty parking space. Yeah. Just anywhere, but mostly at Vasa too.
Yeah,
And you can just
because the
pull in
gym's
there.
usually like packed.
It's packed and you have to drive all the way down and,
Yeah.
and park in the back. But yeah. And then next one I have is my bedroom fan.
Oh,
The
fan.
noise it makes and like, oh my
The
god.
white noise, the like the
cold
cool
breeze.
cold breeze. Yeah,
I could the day that thing dies, I don't know what I'm gonna do
It's
because
the
I'm
day
so
that you
used to
also
it. This the day I also just kill
Dead.
myself. Yeah. because it's like just this old fan that I found in our storage room, and I've been using it for years, and I can't go. It started to make this little creak sound though, and that's really annoying.
No.
But I just try to ignore it.
Well, look up the brand and maybe you can buy the exact same one on Amazon.
True.
Life hack.
Okay, life hack. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I was like, this is the only fan in the world. Okay.
This is the only one of its kind.
Next one I have is Perk Energy / Chill, like the mix-ins.
Yes.
So it's like instead of having to go out and buying like a mint tea, like you can just make your own. You just mix it up from home.
Yeah,
and it's so
that
yummy.
sounds good. The mint chocolate Perk Chill.
So good.
So good.
And
It's
the
like a
chai
relaxing little drink at the end of your day.
It's Christmas in a cup.
It's Christmas in a cup.
So good.
So good.
Yeah, their chai one's really good too. And then last one I have is voice messages.
Oh, that's
love,
a great one.
Like, this is also something kind of Snapchat hasn't come in, except it's just videos. But I love when you become close enough with people where you don't have to keep texting. You can just send voice memos. So it's like a podcast from your favorite people. And then, or like videos too. Like when I get like notifications that my friends are like sending me a ton of videos, I'm like, oh my gosh,
I know.
I can't wait to listen to
There's
these.
nothing I love doing more than like when I'm in the car driving somewhere, I just like can turn on like a voice message from my friends or like go through our video messages if we're like in the group chat sending stuff back and forth. Yeah, I love that. I love a voice message. And also like when like especially feel like if you're like crushing on somebody, like you're kind of dating somebody and you guys start sending voice messages, it's like, this is so cheese, but like hearing their voice just like makes you so happy and giddy and you're just like, this is so cute.
I wish I could relate.
I mean, same. I can't relate currently, but like in the past.
Yeah.
So slay.
Oh, I do have one more. Sorry. Last one is Schitt's Creek.
I love Schitt's Creek.
That has been it's been kind of a rough couple weeks. I've just been feeling very lethargic and like in need of a recharge, and that show has gotten me through.
I was telling you guys, I finished it last year. We started it together and then I finished it alone.
Yeah. Me and Paul stopped around season 2 because like it's not that we didn't like it, we just didn't like get around to finishing it.
Yeah.
But now I just finished season 4 last night. I have 2 more seasons.
Good. It's so good.
The amount of joy and entertainment
that show was so perfectly done from beginning to end. Like it's truly a masterpiece.
Yeah,
honestly,
it doesn't go on for too long.
Nope, they ended it at the perfect time, and when you finish it, you'll know that too. You're like, yeah, they ended it perfectly. They didn't drag it out for any longer. They left people kind of wanting more, which is what I think you have to do with TV shows.
Yes.
Because too many TV shows keep going.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
And then they reach a point where people are so done that they just stop watching. And then they end up ending it really crappy.
Another good example of a show ending and everyone being disappointed, but also making that show be legendary is Gravity Falls. It's like
that's true.
Only had 2 seasons and everyone's like, oh, I wish they'd done more, but I'm like, at least it'll always be good.
That's true.
Can't get ruined.
Every episode is a great one.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. We're gonna go into Crazy Miracles now.
All right,
sound good? Okay, I'm gonna start.
Okay.
This one is from Reddit, from the user MasterShake20. So they say, my ex was extremely abusive. The last time I was physically with him, he threatened me and my brother with a knife.
Oh my gosh.
We had to jump out a window and I lost my glasses. Neither one of us had shoes on. My brother hid in our shed under an old couch and I bolted to the neighbors who were never home. I tried their front door and it was unlocked. I dove behind their couch. They were all watching TV and I was mute hiding. A ton of cops came minutes later, and when one got me from my hiding spot, they also found my brother. It turns out the ex was in the shed where her brother was hiding under the couch that was in the shed and tried lifting up the couch but couldn't. It wasn't a heavy couch and he was a big guy. That is a miracle.
Weird.
Just thinking about it makes me tear up. The fact that my neighbors were conveniently home was a miracle. The fact I lost my glasses was completely blind and still found my way was a miracle. And the fact that we made it out alive was still a miracle. The fact that like
not being able to lift
up the couch.
Yeah.
Like that is like, you know, like whatever you believe in is what you believe in. But I'm like, I believe it's like your like guardian angels are around you, or like Heavenly Father is like not letting him get under, like get to you. And like, yeah.
I mean, the neighbors being there when they're never home is like cool too. But like also it's just not as,
that's not as much of like a miracle. So
okay. That's cool. Mine is by Dark Cry 9000 on Reddit. My father once was traveling along a country highway. It was early morning and he was at the front of a long line of traffic. Along his way, he spotted a hitchhiker with a hiking backpack, and being the kind person he was, he stopped for them and lost his place at the front of traffic. The guy seemed really friendly. Dad chatted with him about his family and work, told the guy how he wanted to have a kid, and the guy was super friendly and nice and supportive. All of a sudden, he asked my dad to drop him off. Dad was confused as this was right next to a field in the middle of nowhere. This guy said don't worry about it and got out, which weirded my dad out. My dad turned to leave and noticed the guy left his bag and went to let the guy know, but he was gone. Nowhere to be seen. Dad says he searched for him, but it made no sense where he went or how he could hide. Upon getting back in the car, he looked in the bag to find it to be empty. Also weird. He decided to continue on his way and joined back in with the traffic. He came to the first set of lights eventually and noticed an accident had happened to the car that was behind him in the line of traffic originally, and he realized had he not picked this guy up, he would have been in that accident. That guy saved him. 2 weeks later, his wife was pregnant with me. My dad still has the bag and carries it with him in his car at all times, hoping to eventually run into the guy and thank him.
What?
He's like a guardian angel.
That's like guardian angel level.
It's like, drop me off in the middle of nowhere, and you're like, wait, what?
Wait, what?
But yeah, like, because he got out of his spot, he like wasn't in an accident.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
what? That's so weird. What the heck?
Yeah.
All right, my next one is by Mahatma Panda. Perfect. My best friend in the world at the time had just moved to a different state. Before he left, his parents also moved to a new house and got a new phone number. So he scribbled it down for me and I kept it in my wallet. FYI, this was before it was common for everyone to have cell phones. The night my brother died, I really needed to talk to him. I couldn't call his number for the place where he was staying because it was so late, so I called his parents' house instead. It was very late in the evening and I was a complete wreck. His mom said that she would call him in the morning and have him call me as soon as he could. He called me the next morning and said that his mom had told him the news, and we talked for hours. He was a friend that literally kept me alive on several occasions. Talking to him made everything just a little bit easier to deal with. A few months later, he was back in my state and we went shopping, and the sales clerk asked for the phone number to pull up their account at the store. It's under his parents' number, so I grabbed the piece of paper from my wallet and read it to him. He then looks at me really confused and said that it didn't sound right, so he pulls out his cell phone that he'd just gotten a few weeks earlier and finds the number. The number I had was wrong. The last 2 digits were completely off to what he had in his phone, so I tell him to check the number that he has. He calls it, and sure enough, his mom picks up the phone. So the night my brother died, I dialed the completely wrong phone number and still spoke with my best friend's mom.
Weird.
It may seem stupid to some people, but this friend was the one who kept me alive and sane. I wouldn't have been able to make it through that time without him.
Weird.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's just like, again, like, you know, the
Just
universe
like
interfering and
little
being like,
things.
let me just
Yeah.
fix this for you.
Yeah, just like little helpful things, whatever it is. Yeah, crazy, huh?
Yeah. This one's short. It's by Livid Lager on Reddit. When I was about 12, I was at a store and was following my family up an escalator. I stood on my toes looking over the railing when I heard my mom calmly call my name. As I leaned back from the railing, I passed the underside of the opposing escalator. They were very close together, and I realized that if I hadn't moved my head when I did, that it could have been a very bad situation.
Ooh.
Anyway, thinking that my mom was going to smack me for almost getting myself killed, I looked up at her and she wasn't even looking at me. I asked her if she'd called for me, but she said that she hadn't. Neither her nor my father had heard anyone else talking.
Huh. Again, just like one of those things you're like, okay, somebody was there looking out for me. All right, my next one is by Quest_Son. When I was in kindergarten, about 5 years old, I think, my father had taken me to one of my brother's football games. I can remember playing near my dad's feet and wriggling around behind him on the floor of the bleachers. They were the kind of bleachers that didn't have backs on the seats, so if you were small enough, you could shimmy through. I was a good 20 steps up the bleachers and can remember that feeling of a lurching stomach as I lost my grip and fell headfirst towards the ground. Directly below me was one of those shoddy construction fences meant to keep people from going under the bleachers, and my face was on course to get impaled. Now, the bleachers have beams of metal underneath it, like big X shapes to hold them up. And in the middle of this X is a small bolt that sticks out about 1/4 inch. The bolt caught the front of the neckline of my favorite sweater I had happened to be wearing that day, and in one motion my entire shirt was ripped off my body as I was turned right side up, and I plopped onto the ground about 3 feet away from the fence. I was startled but not hurt and started crying, and some nearby kids freaked out after I told them I had fallen because it was a good 20-foot drop. I found out when I was older that later that night my super religious Roman Catholic grandma called my mom and asked if I was okay. My mom said, yes, he's okay. How did you know about the accident? She said she felt something bad was going to happen, so she prayed for me specifically. I'm not religious, but I'll never forget that feeling of falling and dread and then just sitting there with no shirt, completely fine.
Whoa.
Isn't that crazy? Especially like the added part of like the grandma.
Yeah,
like,
being like, oh, I had a bad feeling, so I just prayed real quick.
Yeah.
Like that might have been what saved.
Yeah. And like
life.
his shirt like catching on that one little bolt and then just like propelling him enough that he like flipped back upside down and he lands like on his feet and it's just like,
you're like,
okay,
really
perfect.
obscure thing.
Yeah, like crazy. Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
that was kind of cool.
And then I have one more.
Okay, I have one more after you,
okay.
and then we'll be done.
This is by I Dunno LXG.
Sweet.
I'm inspired by some of these amazing stories. This is the first time I've talked about this, so here it goes. My family moved to a new city when I was 8 and my brother was 10. We had no family in the area whatsoever and had to adjust to a completely new lifestyle. One day, my brother has a massive headache. The teacher sends him to the nurse's office and he's yelling and in pain. The nurse told him to calm down and called my mom to come pick him up. My mom knew something was wrong because my brother was normally very quiet and saw he had thrown up, so it was likely something neurological. Things progressively got worse, and they have to call in a helicopter to pick him up. They airlift him to the children's hospital and have to do surgery immediately. I have no idea what exactly happened, but something within his brain ruptured and led to some form of bleeding.
Oh my gosh.
Both my parents spend weeks on end in the hospital with my brother, taking shifts and sleeping there just to stay awake while my brother was in a coma. Thankfully, my grandma was staying with us, so she had to take care of me, and I hadn't seen my parents in weeks. All I was told is that my brother was very sick and that this was how things were. At some point, my mom said she went into the chapel and broke down crying. She didn't know how she'd explain to her 8-year-old son, who saw his 10-year-old brother every day, that he won't be able to see him anymore. She said a janitor there took her hand and told her, Jesus told me that he'd be okay. What was odd is that my mom never saw that person again. Thankfully, my brother pulled through, and the doctor that treated him told my parents, I'm not one to believe in miracles, but the fact your son is alive is a miracle. I'm just glad he's still here. I'm so thankful for the police officer who called in the helicopter and to the doctors and staff over at the Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh. Had we been in the place we used to live, I don't think my brother would have received the care he needed.
Wow.
Really interesting.
That is super interesting.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay, my last one is actually a story that happened here in Utah, very close to where, like, well, literally, like, where Claire and I, like, live. So this is kind of crazy. Yeah. Okay, so the article I'm reading this is the Washington Post, but it also was covered by Deseret News, which is a Utah, like, Salt Lake newspaper. Anyway, this is titled How a Toddler Survived 14 Hours Inside a Car That Plunged into a River by Peter Hawley of the Washington Post. Oh, and this was from 2015. A toddler has improved to critical but stable condition after she was trapped upside down for more than 14 hours in a vehicle that plunged into a Utah river, according to police. Authorities said that the 18-month-old girl's mother, who was the driver of the vehicle and was identified as 25-year-old Lynn Jennifer Grossbeck, was killed in the accident, which took place at about 10:30 p.m. Friday. And this was in like February. Grossbeck had been visiting her parents in Salem and was driving to her home in nearby Springville, a suburb of Provo. Authorities think Lily Grossbeck, who was strapped into her car seat throughout the ordeal, was able to survive temperatures in the upper 20s because of the way the vehicle landed in the Spanish Fork River. It's miraculous that the child was able to survive, Spanish Fork Police Lieutenant Matt Johnson told the Post. EMS stated that due to the way the car flipped into the river, the rear portion of the vehicle was far enough out of the water that the child was able to remain dry. Johnson said that the water also was able to flow through the vehicle instead of sweeping it away. When a fisherman discovered the vehicle at about 12:30 p.m. Saturday, so a full day later.
Oh my gosh.
The car was resting upside down in the water, police said. Authorities responding to a report of an abandoned vehicle were shocked to discover the toddler strapped into her car seat, police said. The water was so cold that 7 emergency responders were treated for hypothermia after they entered the water to perform the rescue.
Whoa.
In a mysterious twist, 4 of the rescuers involved told the Deseret News the next day that they recalled hearing a voice calling for help as they neared the car. However, when they flipped the vehicle, which had been resting on its hood, they discovered that nobody inside was capable of speaking. Remember, it's an 18-month-old, so she could call out, but
very unlikely.
We were down on the car, and a distinct voice says, help me, Officer Brian Dewitt recalled. It wasn't just something that was just in our heads. To me, it was plain as day because I remember hearing a voice. Officer Tyler Bedos said, I think it was Dewitt who said, we're trying our best to get in there. How do you explain that? I don't know, he said, adding that the voice didn't sound like a child. Like if it was like a little girl and they heard like, help, little girl, then yeah, you'd be like, oh, it was her. And like, but they're like, no, like it didn't sound like a little girl voice. It was a positive boost for every one of us because I think it pushed us to go harder a little longer. I don't think any one of us had intended on flipping a car over that day, Beto said. We knew that there was some other help there getting us where we needed to be. After prying open a door, rescuers unhooked Lily from her car seat and noticed her eyes were still fluttering. They began passing her up the hill to safety. Didn't really think about anything except trying to get her out, firefighter Paul Taltomadakis told the news. Once I got a hold of her, I could tell that she still had some life. Grosbeck's sister, Jill Sanderson, told KSTU that her niece is doing well considering what she endured. Anyway, and then it goes on to explain more, but she, the mom had died on impact too, so it wasn't the mom calling out for help.
Well, the crazy thing is, like, it would be more likely that, like, maybe if the little kid was awake that they'd be crying, like they would just be crying.
Yeah, like,
but like to be like, help me.
Yeah, like an 18-month-old isn't really like old enough to have the faculties to like
exactly
shout out, help me, like,
right.
And then if it didn't sound like a little that's a baby, like an 18-month-old is a baby, like that. If it didn't sound like a baby voice,
that's
just, I don't know.
Those kind of things give me chills because you're just like, there's just no way, there's no explaining that.
And the fact that she was in there for 14 hours, even though
in
she wasn't
cold water,
she wasn't submerged. The way the car had like landed,
because it was on its hood,
it was like the rear, she was upside down in her car seat, but the like rear of the car was up out of the water, but still it was in like February, and it was like, you know, February in Utah is not warm.
Overnight,
it's very cold.
That's a kid. Oh my gosh,
crazy.
Ooh, I didn't even know about that, and that's literally hometown.
I know, crazy, huh?
Well,
thanks guys for listening. That's all we have today.
I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving. You eat lots of food. No feeling guilty about it.
No feeling guilty
Remember
about that.
my voice. No feeling guilty.
Only happiness. Remember, one meal is not going to change the way you look at all.
Enjoy some food.
Enjoy some food.
Enjoy your family.
Have fun. Don't even worry about like saving room throughout the day. Don't starve yourself before. Just have a fun, good day.
Go all in. It's Thanksgiving.
Have a great day, you guys.
All right.
Tune in next week.
Bye.
Bye.